Hello everyone. In this tutorial, I will be showing you how to make a boss battle type bullet shooting game in Scratch using pen health bars, like this game I am currently working on. Anyways, let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to create the character. It's going to follow my mouse and shoot automatically. So let's start by making a circle. I'll just make a simple one like this. I'm going to fill it white in the inside. And now grab a when flag clicked, a forever loop, go to mouse pointer. So if we run this is always following the mouse pointer. And I'm just going to move this up a bit so that you can actually see the full player. Like this, a bit more up. Alright, so like this. Now let's make it automatically shoot bullets. So create a new sprite. This is going to be for the bullets. So I'll just make a square and just like this, and done. So these are going to be the bullets. Go back to the character sprite and then grab another when flag clicked and a forever loop. Create clone of your bullet, which in this case is sprite 2, and then you can have wait a certain amount of seconds. I'm just going to say wait 0.5 seconds. Make sure to have 2 separate forever loops, because if you put this inside of here, then it's going to follow your mouse every 0.5 seconds. And it will look really choppy. So put this back in. And now go to your bullet sprite. When I start as a clone, then show. Oh yeah, and let's also hide the initial sprite. So when flag clicked, then hide. So now, when I start as a clone, then show. And then grab a repeat until block. Repeat until touching edge, which is the edge of the screen. Then move, I'll say 15 steps. And then add a delete this clone at the end. Don't forget to go to motion and then go to sprite 1, which is the character. Don't forget to make it point in the correct direction so that it's shooting upwards. So I think it's point in direction 0 degrees, which is up. So let's try this. Okay. And now let's just rotate this bullet horizontally like this, so that when you shoot it, then it's going to look vertically. So this, and then, yep, now it shoots vertically. And make sure to go to looks and then go back to the furthest layer back. So I'll just say 99 layers. I'll put it in front right here, and done. Now if we try this, then we have the player, which is constantly shooting bullets and disappearing after it touches the screen. Now let's create the enemy. So create a new sprite. I'm just gonna keep it simple and make a rectangle like this. Put in the center right here, and I'll make it a bit bigger. This is going to be our enemy or boss or whatever you want to call it. So now grab it when flag clicked, then show, and go in the middle, the top middle right here, which is around here. Go to X 0 right here. And now you want to make it so that whenever the player shoots the bullet, then the bullet stops upon hitting the enemy. So go to the bullet, add a and statement. So it's repeat until touching edge, or and, oh okay, I meant or statement. Repeat until touching edge or touching the enemy, which is sprite 3 in my case. So touching sprite 3. Now that we have that, let's create our health bar for the enemy. So create another new sprite. You can leave the costume area blank because it's going to be all in pen. So let's make a new block. Let's just name it health bar. Click OK. And then go to pen, add a clear, and then pen up so that it doesn't draw anything right now. Set the pen color, I'm just going to say to white, and then set the pen size to, I'll just say 15. What this does is set the pen color to white and then set the pen size to 15, so that when we draw on it, then it's gonna draw a line of white color and of size 15. So now go to a certain area. I'll just say X negative 100, and then Y position 160. Now go back to pen, add a pen down, so that now it starts drawing because it places the pen down, and then go to X 100, and then Y 160. What this does is to draw a line starting at X negative 100 all the way to X 100. So I'll just make this backdrop a light gray, and then I'll show it to you. So if I run this, oh yeah, I need to add a when flag clicked, and then a forever loop, and then add the block in here. So now if you run this, then as you see here, it draws a white line of size 15 from negative 100 to 100 in the X position. Now let's create the green part of the health bar. So go to motion, and then go to the same place where you started the position of the white part, which is in this case negative 100 in the X position, and then set pen color to green. So I'll just add this here and then change it to green, and now pen up so that it stops drawing, and then set pen size to a smaller number than the size right here. So I'll just say 10, and then pen down. Now if you were to run this, then it would just be a dot right here. So if you want to make this increase, then we have to add the health variable. So go to data, create a new variable. I'll just call it health, and then click OK. So now you want it to draw more or less based on how much health the enemy has. So go to motion, add a change X by, and then add the multiplication operator, put it in here, drag the health, and now I'm gonna add times 2 in here. The reason I'm doing that is because it starts, the white part of the health bar starts at negative 100 and it ends at 100 in the X position. So that would be a total length of 200 units. Every time the enemy health changes by 1, you would want to move the pen by negative 2 units. So let's just set the health to 100 and go to pen, and then add a pen up so that it stops drawing it. Now let's test it. Yep, see, as you see here, the bar goes all the way across. Now if you want to see this health bar in action, let's create a slider. So right click this variable right here, I'll make it a slider, and then as you see here, if you slide it, then the health bar changes accordingly. This is full health, this is 80 health, this is 0 health. If you want the green part to actually disappear when it's at 0 health, then let's add a if statement right here, and then if, add a not, add a less than operator, and then if not health is less than 0, actually a 1. So now when the health is at 0, then the whole green part of the bar is gone. Now if you want the enemy health to decrease by 1 every time it touches a bullet, then go to the enemy and then add a forever loop. If touching sprite 2, and change health by negative 1, and then I'll just say wait 0.05 seconds, because you want a buffer so that it only registers change health by negative 1 only once every time a bullet touches it. It's sort of hard to explain, but it's best if you add it. So now if you try this, the enemy decreases its health by 1. Now that we have this, let's create a moving health bar for the character. So go to your health bar sprite, and then add a new block. I'll just say player health bar. Click OK, and then pretty much just do the same thing. So I'll just duplicate this, but I'll make it smaller. So I'll change the pen size to, let's say, 6, and then I'll change the smaller pen size, which is the pen size of the green one, to 4, and then I'll make it a total length of 50 units. So go to x negative 25 to 25, and then also change this part to negative 25 also. And since I want the player health to also be 100, and since the length of the health bar is 50, so then I'll change it by health divided by 2. So that every time the player is hit by an enemy bullet, then the health bar changes by 0.5 units. I'll also change the Y right now to 0. So now if you play this, then nothing happens because I didn't add the player health bar block into the forever loop. So now if you play this, the player health bar is there. Okay, one thing, take out the clear, as you can only have one clear in the blocks, so just make sure to take out one of the clear blocks. So now there's 2 of them. Also make sure to make a separate variable for the player health. So I'll just create a new variable named player health. Click OK. And now change these to player healths. Now if you want to make the health bar follow the player, then go to sensing, and then grab this block right here, and then change this to sprite 1, which is the player. So now add a plus operator, put this right here, and then I'll say plus negative 25. So we can do minus 25. So go to X position of sprite 1 minus 25. I'll put it right here, and then you can duplicate this, and then plus 25. So it's pretty much the same thing as before, but I just added a X position of sprite 1. So now copy this to this one also, and make sure to do the same thing for the Y position. So go here, select Y position in the drop down menu, select sprite 1, and then add another plus operator. Since you want the health bar on top of the player, so I'll just say plus 20, and then I'll put it here, duplicate this, and now if you try this, then the health bar constantly follows the player. Now make sure to set the player health to 100 so that it's on full health, and as you see here, it follows the player. I'll just make the health bar go up a bit. I'll just make it plus 30 instead, and now this works. However, as you see here, if I move the player quickly, then the health bar doesn't move at the exact same time as the player. That is because of some sort of a scratch sort of bug. So to fix this, then take these 2 blocks out, go to events, grab a broadcast. I'll just say call, click OK, and then put this in the forever loop, and then when I receive call, then do these 2. So now if you play this, then the health bar follows the player at the exact same speed. So that's a nice little trick to know. To show that the player health bar actually works, I'll just make the enemy shoot some bullets. So create a new sprite. I'll just make red bullets this time, like this. Okay, don't forget to make it horizontal, so like this. And then I'll just copy this code from the player bullet, so just drag this and then put it into here. And now all of this is the same thing, except do negative 15 steps because the bullets will be shooting downwards, and go to sprite 3, which is the boss, and also change this to touching sprite 1, which is the player. And now make sure that the enemy also shoots the bullet, so grab a when flag clicked, forever loop, create clone of sprite 5, which is the bullet, and then wait 0.5 seconds. So now the enemy shoots and the player shoots, and make it so that when the player touches the enemy bullet, then it decreases the player health. So add an if statement in your forever loop that is not in the wait forever loop. So now if touching the enemy bullet, which is sprite 5, then change player health by -1, and then don't forget to add your buffer 0.05 seconds. And now as you see here, the player health decreases ever so slightly right here. And these are also independent of each other. So like if I shoot the enemy, then only the enemy's health bar decreases. And the same with the player. If I take out the shooting, then only the player's health bar decreases when it touches the enemy's bullet. Like that. Now that you know this, you can create your own enemy attacks and bullet patterns. So, yeah. Anyways, that's it for this tutorial. If you learned something, and if you enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe while you're at it. Also, comment down below for any suggestions or what videos you want me to do next. Anyways, that's it. See ya.